What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Wednesday, January 23rd. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay, let's take a look at the point guard position. I like Kyle Lowry from the Toronto Raptors playing the Indiana Pacers, who have the best defense overall, and they give up the fewest points to opposing point guards. Kyle Lowry has scored 40, 34, and 42 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 37.9 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 34 minutes per game with a 20% usage rate. Kyle Lowry is $7,200 DraftKings salary. He's $300 more on FanDuel, projected at 42.4 fantasy points here tonight. That's almost 6 times value. Kawhi Leonard is out again for rest. Again. And when little sleepy boy Leonard is resting, Kyle Lowry is a different player. He's got 40, 50 point upside when Kawhi Leonard is on the bench. I love Kyle Lowry here versus the Indiana Pacers. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the position optimizer where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new player trends tool where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Eric Gordon from the Houston Rockets playing the New York Knicks, who have the 2nd worst defense overall, and they also give up the 3rd most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. Eric Gordon has scored 17, 44, and 30 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 24.8 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 33 minutes per game with a 23% usage rate. Eric Gordon is $5,700 DraftKings salary. He's $400 less on FanDuel, so I love that FanDuel price. Projected at 28.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5 times value. Eric Gordon has 40-point upside with all the injuries there in Houston. He should get plenty of minutes. I think he hits value no problem, and he's got a good chance of crushing value here if he gets 40 fantasy points. I love Eric Gordon tonight versus the New York Knicks. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and then we'll send you $100 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, who do we have at the small forward position? I like Marcus Morris from the Boston Celtics playing the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have the 10th worst defense overall, and they're about middle of the pack defending opposing small forwards. Marcus Morris has scored 28, 23, and 19 fantasy points in his last 3 games, averaging 26.7 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 27 minutes per game with a 21% usage rate. Marcus Morris is $5,000 DraftKings salary, $300 more on FanDuel, projected at 25.6 fantasy points here tonight. That's just over 5 times value. There's an implied total of 216 points in this game. I like Marcus Morris' consistent minutes, and he seems to be around 25-30 fantasy points almost every game. I love Marcus Morris here versus a weak Cleveland Cavaliers defense. Okay, who do we have at the power forward position? I like Pascal Siakam for the Toronto Raptors playing the Indiana Pacers, who have the best defense overall, but they give up the 6th most fantasy points to opposing power forwards. Pascal Siakam has scored 28, 32, and 40 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 31.1 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 31 minutes per game with a 19% usage rate. Pascal Siakam is $6,200 DraftKings salary. He's $500 more on FanDuel, projected at 32.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's well over 5 times value. There's an implied total of 217.5 points in this game. No Kawhi Leonard, that means a ton of minutes and plenty of usage. I love Pascal Siakam here versus the Indiana Pacers. Okay, moving on to the center position. I like Nikola Vukovich for the Orlando Magic, playing the Brooklyn Nets, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, but they give up the second most fantasy points to opposing centers. Vuce has scored 56, 46, and 50 fantasy points in his last 3 games, averaging 45.9 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 31 minutes per game with a 28% usage rate. Vuce is $9,300 DraftKings salary. He's $600 more on FanDuel, projected at 44.1 fantasy points here tonight. He's going to need about 48 fantasy points to hit 5 times value. I think he can score 50 plus in this matchup versus Brooklyn. Big men versus Brooklyn. They're the second worst team defending centers, and it shows on a nightly basis. I love Nikola Vukovich here versus the Brooklyn Nets.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.